Welcome to Day 39 of Future Business School's Daily MBA series. Today we'll be exploring conflict management and negotiation, focusing on how to manage disputes and key strategies for effective negotiation. Understanding conflict in the workplace. Conflict is a natural part of any organization, stemming from differences in opinions, values, or interests. Left unresolved, conflict can lead to poor productivity, low morale, and strained relationships. However, when managed well, it can foster growth, innovation, and stronger team dynamics. Types of workplace conflict. Task conflict occurs when team members disagree on how to complete a task or project. This type of conflict can be constructive when it encourages diverse viewpoints and leads to better decision-making. For example, a product development team may debate the best approach to designing a new feature. Relationship conflict arises from interpersonal issues between individuals, such as personality clashes or miscommunication. This is often more damaging as it can result in long-term tension. For instance, a clash between two colleagues with different working styles can lead to relationship conflict. Process conflict involves disagreements on the methods, procedures, or systems used to achieve a goal. For example, disagreement over how to allocate resources for a project might cause a process conflict. Conflict management styles. To manage conflict effectively, it's important to understand different approaches. The Thomas Kilmann Conflict Mode Instrument, or TKI, identifies 5 primary conflict management styles. Competing, also known as win-lose. In this approach, one party seeks to win the conflict at the expense of the other. This is useful in situations where quick, decisive action is needed, but it can lead to resentment if overused. For example, a manager decides to move forward with a project without seeking input from the team. Collaborating, or win-win. This style involves both parties working together to find a mutually beneficial solution. It takes more time, but can strengthen relationships and foster a sense of teamwork. For example, 2 department heads work together to align their conflicting goals and create a shared action plan. Compromising involves both sides making concessions to reach an agreement. It's a middle ground approach where neither party gets everything they want, but both parties leave satisfied. For example, a project timeline is shortened slightly to accommodate the needs of both the marketing and sales teams. Avoiding involves ignoring or withdrawing from the conflict altogether. It's useful for trivial issues or when tempers need to cool down, but can lead to unresolved problems if overused. For example, a manager chooses not to address a minor disagreement between 2 employees, hoping it will resolve itself. Accommodating or lose-win. Here, one party sacrifices their own needs to satisfy the other. This can be helpful in maintaining relationships, but frequent accommodation can lead to frustration. For example, an employee agrees to work extra hours to help a colleague, even though it conflicts with their personal schedule. Conflict resolution strategies. Active listening. Listen carefully to all parties involved in the conflict to understand their perspectives fully. This helps to identify the root cause of the disagreement and builds trust. For example, during a meeting, a manager lets each team member voice their concerns before proposing a solution. Facilitating open communication. Create an environment where open and honest communication is encouraged. This allows for clearer understanding and resolution of conflicts. For instance, holding a facilitated group discussion to allow team members to express their concerns and ideas. Mediation. In some cases, a neutral third party can step in to help mediate the conflict, guiding the disputing parties toward a solution. An example would be an HR professional mediating a conflict between 2 employees who cannot resolve an issue on their own. Finding common ground. Focus on shared goals and interests to help bridge differences and find a solution that satisfies both parties. For example, during a project dispute, a manager emphasizes the team's common goal of meeting client needs. Clarifying expectations. Ensure that everyone involved has a clear understanding of expectations and roles to avoid misunderstandings that can lead to conflict. For instance, a manager outlines each team member's responsibilities to prevent overlap and confusion. Establishing ground rules. Set clear guidelines for how conflicts should be addressed, including respect for different viewpoints and a commitment to finding constructive solutions. For example, a company policy requires all conflicts to be discussed openly in a respectful manner during team meetings. Introduction to negotiation. Negotiation is the process of reaching an agreement between two or more parties with differing objectives. It's a critical skill in business, whether negotiating contracts, salaries, or project terms. Key negotiation strategies. BARTNA, or best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Before entering a negotiation, it's crucial to identify your best alternative if the negotiation fails. This gives you leverage and prevents you from agreeing to unfavorable terms. For example, if a supplier refuses to lower prices, knowing you have another supplier lined up gives you a stronger position. Preparation and research. Thorough preparation is key to successful negotiation. Understand the other party's goals, priorities, and constraints. For instance, before negotiating a salary, research market rates for your role and prepare to justify your value to the company. Mutual benefit. Focus on creating a win-win outcome where both parties feel satisfied with the result. This builds long-term relationships and trust. For example, a software company negotiates a licensing deal with a client, offering a discount in exchange for a long-term contract. Active listening and questioning. Asking open-ended questions and actively listening to the other party's needs helps uncover hidden interests and facilitates a smoother negotiation. For example, during a contract negotiation, a manager asks the client what their main priorities are, revealing opportunities for compromise. Anchoring. Anchoring involves setting the initial offer high or low to influence the negotiation. The first number introduced often serves as a reference point for the final agreement. For example, a sales manager sets an initial price for a product slightly higher than the desired outcome, allowing room for negotiation. Concession making. Strategic concessions can help move the negotiation forward. Offering something of lesser importance can make the other party feel they've gained something without giving up too much. For example, a vendor agrees to a shorter delivery time in exchange for a higher price. Maintaining emotional control. Staying calm and composed during negotiations is essential. Emotions can cloud judgment and lead to unfavorable decisions. For example, during a tense salary negotiation, an employee remains professional and focused on the facts rather than reacting emotionally. Common pitfalls to avoid in negotiation. Being unprepared. Entering a negotiation without a clear strategy or understanding of the other party's needs can lead to poor outcomes. Solution. Always research, understand your partner, and prepare your negotiation points in advance. Making unrealistic demands. Setting unrealistic expectations can alienate the other party and lead to a breakdown in negotiations. Solution. Be reasonable and open to compromise. Focusing only on price. Negotiations are not just about price. Factors like delivery time, quality, and terms of service are also important. Solution. Look for opportunities to create value beyond price. Ignoring the long-term relationship. Overly aggressive negotiation tactics can harm long-term business relationships. Solution. Aim for a win-win outcome that fosters collaboration and trust. Key takeaways. Conflict in the workplace is inevitable, but managing it effectively through strategies like active listening, mediation, and open communication can lead to positive outcomes. There are different conflict management styles: competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating, and understanding when to use each is key. Successful negotiation requires preparation, understanding of both parties' needs, and the ability to balance assertiveness with cooperation. Always have a partner. focus on creating mutual benefits, and avoid common pitfalls like being unprepared or focusing solely on price. That wraps up day 39 of the Daily MBA series. Join us tomorrow for another insightful topic. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Future Business School. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.